Chrissy D. At this point, everybody knows I love dance, right? What is the best way to learn and express that a little bit more? Dive into the culture of Barbados. Right now, I'm getting a chance to learn a little bit about Landship. This is something that you at home also know about, right? Landship is big. It is part of our culture, and I'm getting a chance right now to talk to Admiral Dr. Jacobs about the history of Landship. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Chrissy.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
Now tell us, because there's so many people who, we grew up seeing Landship, right? The parade happening, all that stuff, but nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, a lot of people do not know the history behind Landship. So tell me a little bit more about it.
Okay. It's something like over 400 years prior to us having the Landship and everything. Mm-hmm. There were people in Ghana who really and truly had the bones, the structure of a movement.
Yeah.
That we would now call Landship. They never call it Landship. It's us.
What did they used to call it?
It was called Asapo, meaning war people.
Okay.
At that early time, that is when the British, the French, and the Dutch, may even be a few others, but they were all involved in trying to get something out of Ghana. Mm-hmm. And so they decided that one group would try to overcome the others, and so you would have forts and everything being built on the coast. Mm-hmm. And sometimes another set of people came in and took over that, but I mean it's long-winded. We don't want to go through all that. So I will just tell you that one of the first books that I ever saw talking about the people of Ghana and so forth would have been by Peter de Maris in 1602. Mm-hmm. And I had some little clips and everything written by them, of course, and Peter de Maris, if you excuse the language, beschrijving in de historisch verhaal van het goot koning Bridget van Guinea, 1602. And the English translation was done in 1912 by Albert van Danzig. People, usually think, as I said, that Landship started in Barbados, but they can trace it to 400 years.
Yeah, because when you definitely do your research online and you ask about the history of Landship, it literally is like Barbados. It is so to hear that it goes back further than that is pretty interesting.
But ours is Barbados Landship.
Yes, yeah.
Association. And one of the first things that we have Peter de Maris writing about, saying that every fancy town had its own company, fought on the banners, marched to drums, and obeyed their captains. Does this not still sound like Landship? That's what I'm saying. This is the bones of it. And that is called the Asapo system. Right?
Yeah.
Then to bring a little closer, in around 1744, we had a prince from the Fanti region of Anamabo. Mm-hmm. And he was brought to Barbados in 1744. No, he was supposed to have been going to England for his education. And the man decided, nah, I gonna sell him. So that's what he did. He sold him in Barbados. Now our museum and the Historical Society, they also have a very nice, it's a mezzotint at the museum. which shows you what Prince William Ansasesaraku, that was his name, and he was brought to Barbados. Fanti man, again from the same region, as a slave. But his father, of course, was a chief. He wasn't hearing anything from his son. But I don't know if it was just here or his heart, he was feeling something was wrong.
Yeah.
Can't find my son. He says, if I don't find him and I get some word from him that he's okay, I am going to switch my allegiance from the English to the French. So you know they didn't want that. So they traced and they found him, of course, in Barbados, and they then took him up to England for him to do his studies. So the reason why I include that is to show you that even including up to 1744, we were having Fanti people here a lot. That was the second thing, right?
Yeah.
And then being in the Yoruba house, as dancers and so forth, we were doing the choreography of the Landship, and that's when I really started now to do a lot of research on them. So I met in 2009 Nana Nayanthiuku Akwa, who was the coordinator of the Asafo from Anamabo. And he explained things about banners and grades, levels of, different things, and also their shrines, because a dock like this would also be known as a shrine. So today now Landship still uses those same types of bones, the structure, banners, the ranks, the drills, and duty, that respect and so forth for Landship.
So I just want to ask a question on that, because like you just mentioned, because off camera I had asked about the ship, you let me know oxymoron, the lion, the whale, land, sea, then you just mentioned shrine. So just hearing that, are you then saying that the Landship culture itself is something spiritual behind it, or no? Just trying.
It's supposed to be. That's what it came from.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that you had children were involved in the Asafo.
Yeah.
So your father's family or your mother's family, because they were more matrilineal. So they also knew. So when they came even as children and enslaved, they also knew about Asafo. So every set of people that you had coming in to Barbados, they knew about it and kept that very much,
So just want to ask this as well. So just to further understand, okay, so we just mentioned that, originally some people think that it started in Barbados, but it goes further back to Ghana and that kind of stuff, known as Asafo, war people, and then we just talked about the spirituality side of it. So now I want to understand, like, behind everything, what was the main purpose for Landship ever being created in Ghana? Was it the spiritual side? All right.
It was a militia.
Got you.
So we had the same ranks and so forth, captains and all the way through. So it hasn't really changed. And then they had uniforms and all those kind of things. And the flags.
Yeah. So
that is one of the main things that really haven't changed.
Now in Barbados in 2026, when dealing with anything Landship related, do you guys still maintain the same dock setup with the lion and the whale? Everything still stays the same, or has it changed?
No. The lion and the whale is one ship.
Okay.
That's called Donsin. That's number 3. There are seven 7 different shrines and docks, as we would say here. But that is only one. That's the one that I went to first, and that's where I met. I said, oh, I now started to understand landship.
Yeah.
So I saw it there for myself. And in speaking to even like the coordinator, when he got back to talking to me at time, he said, but I thought you told me that you didn't know anything of my language. I said, no, I don't. He said, but I hear you talking about susu. He said, but susu is a monetary contribution.
Yeah, we saw those things in Barbados.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's where it is.
Yeah.
But if you have a chance and you look in the book, I have a picture that I took myself saying, get your susu here. So you could go and you could join up and things like that. Susu was a way of keeping the money turning, but it's inside.
Yeah.
In your space, you know.
And like you mentioned, the same, you know, lion and whale is one ship. Do you know off the top of your head the other 6 you can share with us? Or the ones most popularly used in Barbados, at least?
No, there are no others used in Barbados. We say landship for
everything?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Landship is the word we use. Because it's also like the Navy, right?
Yeah.
And then it's not really on the sea. So it's a movement that is still on the water. You can't see the water, you can't feel it, but yes, it's there.
I love it. All right, so let's bring it down to 2025 now. Still want to go back, but 2025, if my research is correct, I read that the movement itself, the Barbados Landship, was picked up by UNESCO.
Yes.
To protect it. So tell me a little bit more about that. Intangible heritage, if I'm correct.
Right, intangible heritage. Well, they're trying to safeguard all around the world places and peoples and so forth that are on possibility that they could die.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things that they were trying to safeguard for the Barbados Landship here.
Do you find that that was happening though? Because from the outside looking in, it appears as though Landship is still very popular in Barbados, especially something that we see every single year. Everybody growing up, we know about Landship. Do you find behind the scenes and obviously being involved with it, you felt as though that it was dying down, the attention to it?
It was dying, yes, it was becoming moribund. Because remember at one time we had probably over 60,000 people that used to be involved.
Oh, okay.
We had plenty ships.
Yeah.
You know? But then it was just being depleted. Then again, things happened as well. Like a lot of men in Barbados left and went to Panama to work. So therefore, and then that's another way that you see that we had a lot of women then came in to also put that bill.
Yeah. Now I want to ask a little bit about you in regards to the Barbados Landship, because you hinted a little bit about it, but I would love for you to tell everybody like how you originally got involved.
I got involved as a dancer.
Yeah.
Yes, and I used to be man overboard. That was quite a bit of work, but
Tell me, explain that a little bit more to me. Man overboard.
well, when the slaves were put on board the slave ships,
Yeah.
and they managed to get out of the shackles
Overboard.
over the side.
Correct.
But a lot of people still, although you said man overboard, they still didn't think of that in terms of you choosing life or death, and you know, you prefer to go in the sea.
For the die than be in those
Right.
circumstances.
Right.
Yeah.
But then again, we still have to be thankful for those who did stay and who perpetuated, you know, the knowledge and all of that. Even at a time like this,
Yeah.
it's important. It's important. But Yeah, so from I would probably have been about 18, and we at that time were involved in choreographies and so forth. So we used to go up to St. Thomas every Friday night for months and perform with the actual Landship at that time. You know, so and that would have been the director number one. So then we decided on having our own uniforms and all of that. But that was just for dance. And then things that that the Landship would be best known for would be things like maypole. Now people ask the question, so how did like the British maypole get involved there?
Some people didn't even know it was British.
When you come back to it, it's going to come back and you're going to find out that it's very African.
Yeah. See? There we go.
Very African. So that aspect of it, it was to do with colors more. The colors for the king and the colors for the queen, for the Landship, for the maypole when you see them start. One is red and one is white. And then the other different ribbons and so forth, you would see them. And the whole thing, the whole idea of plaiting and so forth, is showing you that it's not as difficult as people say to make things work. It's keeping things together. It's your community. It's your where we would say a ship, but it's something about working, making it work, and even to unplait. That is a work. You have to understand it and be a part of it. So, Landship has its beginnings and its end. So.
Well, safe to say, this session was amazing. We learned a lot. We learned that, even though we see 1863, it goes further back than that. It goes back to Ghana, it goes back to 1602. We learned about the Asafo, war people. Love it. We learned about the ship, understanding with the shrines and everything. So it's been major information you shared with me this morning. And I just want to thank you for that. And I look forward to sharing that information with others as well to do my part in protecting the culture. Yes. So Admiral Dr. Jacobs.
Yes.
Just want to tell you thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Anytime.
Let me go.